Hey guys, welcome back to From the Roots Up, and it is going to be day 8 of the not the Every Bit Counts challenge. Sorry, that was back in August. This is going to be day 8 of the 12 Days of Homemade Christmas challenge, and I'm going to be showing y'all how to make caramel apples. So for this, we have our apples and we have some drizzly things like sprinkles, chocolate chips, we have a chocolate drizzle, but what I'm really going to be showing y'all how to make is going to be some caramel. I've actually made one recipe of caramel before to make like a filling for cookies, and it turned out really well, so I'm pretty excited to try this one. So the first thing that we're going to do before we start making the caramel is we have these dowel rods that I'm going to stick into the apples. All right, that is our apples all ready. I actually have some candy melts that I've already put in our Chocolate Pro chocolate melter. You can stick them in the microwave later, but if I leave them like this, they can melt while we're making the caramel. So now we're gonna get started on that and head over to the stove. All right, so right before we head into the stove, I'm gonna add in the first 3 ingredients into this pan. We have 2 cups of brown sugar, a stick of butter, and a cup of corn syrup. So we're gonna cook this down with a couple of extra things, and it's really easy. Okay, so here I'm just going to turn the stove on and we're gonna start cooking this down. All right, so we've started cooking this. I just have it on a medium heat, and we're going to just stir this together. And basically, first you want to cook it until the butter is all the way melted. After the butter melts, we're going to add this can of sweetened condensed milk, and then cook that some more. And you definitely want to be careful when making something hot and sugary like this, because if you've cooked with grease before, you know grease splashes. This splashes too. But if it splashes out and sticks to you, it will stick and keep burning. So you definitely want to be very careful about splashing this. And we can go ahead and open this up. Pour it in. From here, we are going to cook it until it's about like a soft ball. But at this point, you've got to make sure that you are stirring it the entire time once you put the milk in there, because it will burn to the bottom. And as you cook it, it will start to get thicker. And again, especially once it starts boiling, you definitely need to be super careful about making sure this doesn't splash. All right, this is about where we want it. This is thick enough that it will stay in place if you push it out of the way for a bit, but it's also still thin enough that it is gooey and runny. So it's almost done. All we have to do left next is add in a teaspoon of vanilla. Right, and then our caramel coating is done. All we have left to do is dip the apples in it. All right, all we have to do next to finish this out is to start dipping our apples in. So you can coat it more or less depending on your personal preference, but you just want to dip those in that. They do become considerably heavier after you get the caramel all over them. You want to do this pretty quickly because the caramel does dry. Right, so we have all these dipped in the caramel, and we have a few things that we can do to them next. We have this, and it's not quite melted all the way. I'm going to stir it around a little bit more as we go to try and melt it a little bit more. So we have some chocolate chips we can stick onto these. And the caramel's already mostly hard, so you are going to have to press these in a little bit if you want to put something like this in. But you can stick them in. If you're quick and can get it before the caramel hardens a little bit, you can put like some sprinkles and things in there. Or you can just leave them with just the caramel on, and that is fine. It is totally up to you and your personal preference. Now with this drizzle, if you're good and it's thin enough, you can do it with a spoon, but it's easier to do it with an icing bag, or if you do not have an icing bag, you can actually take a Ziploc bag and shove it all into the corner and cut the tip of the corner off and drizzle it over. And this is how you want to make sure it's all the way melted, which may take a minute, but if you stir it, it'll go faster. But you can just take it and stick it down in there. And it acts exactly like an icing bag, except this is something that you're more likely to have in a Ziploc bag. We do cake decorating, so we have a lot of icing bags, but some people don't. Right, so you're gonna want to take one corner and just cut the tip of it off like that. And then you can go and drizzle it. And while that is hot, that is where you can put some of the sprinkles in if you did not get the chance to because the caramel got too hard. You can put them on top of a chocolate drizzle or just some chocolate. Or you could skip the caramel altogether and just dip the apples in melted chocolate. It's, again, completely up to your preference. This is a super customizable thing to make. Next, we are going to put these in bags. So you can stick them down in there. And tie around. With this set of bags came with twist ties, or if you have ribbon or something you'd like to make them festive. But it's that easy. And there they are. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a super easy, awesome gift to give to people. And it's so much fun to make. And I hope that you really enjoyed watching this video. If you got any use out of this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our future 12 Days of Homemade Christmas.